He sat down at his desk for another day of fan mail. This was an important ritual to James Doohan, universally recognized as Scotty from the original Star Trek series. And while he didn't have time to answer as many of the letters as he would have liked, he was still encouraged by how many people thought of him and took the time to contact him, even after so much time had passed. Many of the letters were routine, questions about the show, anecdotes, personal questions here and there, and maybe even some nice fan art for him to appreciate. Then he opened one more, this one from a young lady, and once he finished reading it, James's heart sank. While the specific words in the letter have been lost to time, we do know what was on her mind when she wrote it. It was a suicide note. How could an actor help save a life that was hundreds of miles away in a time before cell phones or the internet? What could he do to convince her life was worth living? Hi, I'm Garvin DeShazer, and this is your daily inspiration. In the letter, the young woman explained that she had been depressed for some time and was considering taking her own life. So James did the only thing he could. He tracked the young woman down using the information provided in her letter and managed to obtain her phone number from the directory. He called and heard her voice for the first time. "Hi, this is Jimmy Doohan," he said. "Can we talk?" After a brief exchange, he said, "I'm doing a convention in Indianapolis. I want to see you there." Before hanging up, Doohan made the young woman promise that she would be there at the convention, and sure enough, she was. However, she was visibly in a bad state. "I saw her. I couldn't believe what I saw. It was definitely a suicide in the making," Doohan recalls. Somebody had to help her, somehow. And obviously she just wasn't going to the right people. Seizing the moment, James told her he would be at another convention in St. Louis and encouraged her to meet him there. From there, the correspondence continued, and the young lady met with James Doohan a total of 18 times over the next 2.5 years. "All I did was talk positive things to her," explained Doohan, and he tried to consistently offer encouragement and advice while continually providing her with more events to look forward to. He wanted her to focus on something outside her pain and to keep moving forward to the next day. Then suddenly, she went quiet. James was chilled to stop hearing from her, and not having saved her address, he was forced to wonder what had happened to the mysterious young woman. 8 years passed, during which he continued to go to conventions and events. He battled his own illnesses and lived life, but in the back of his mind, now and again, the memory of her depression and the suicide note haunted him. So it was to his delight that on another morning, while opening another round of fan mail, James found one last letter from the same woman. She said, in part, "I want to thank you so much for what you did for me, because I just got my master's degree in electronic engineering." She was alive and well, having moved forward with her life, and had chosen a career inspired by the role for which James was best known. James had played other roles in his life, too, roles that most of his fans didn't know about. Prior to acting, Doohan served in the Canadian military and took part in combat in Europe during World War II, including the D-Day invasion of Normandy. During that fateful day, he was wounded, shot 6 times, and lost his right middle finger as a result. His acting career began in radio, then television, but of course, he became best known for his role as Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott Chief Engineer of the Starship Enterprise. James is proud that his role as Scotty inspired so many fans to pursue real-world careers in engineering and other technical fields. Famously, even astronaut Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, was inspired by Scotty, having been an engineer before his participation in NASA's Apollo program. On stage at Doohan's last public appearance in 2004, Armstrong said to James, "From one old engineer to another, thank you." Doohan was also honored by the academic community with an honorary engineering degree from the Milwaukee School of Engineering and by his peers with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. However, despite so many accomplishments to be proud of, Doohan still recalled his interaction with that lonely young woman very fondly. In his words, "You know, that's, to me, the best thing I've ever done in my life, and it brings tears to my eyes every time I even talk about the story." So who can you be an inspiration for today? We've all been inspired at least once by someone we admired, a parent, a sibling, a friend, or maybe a celebrity. Perhaps someone is looking up to you right now, and it would make a world of difference in their life if you took the time, like James, to show that you care. Or it may be that, like that young lady, you feel lost and alone. If you're in that kind of pain, please never forget that no matter how badly you may feel on any particular day, your life has value and meaning. Please talk to someone today, and don't rob the world of a chance to feel the joy of getting to know you. Thanks for listening. May your day be filled with inspiring and being inspired, and with love, laughter, and infinite joy. Bye for now.
Hi, this is Scott Sampson, producer for the Daily Inspirations podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Want more inspiration in your life? Check out our blog for weekend stories of hope and uplifting news. If you've been enjoying the podcast, we hope you'll take a moment today and rate and review us and tell everyone in your circle so they can get the same inspiration that we hope you've received today. We have big plans for this podcast and we want you to be part of it. Visit dailyinspirationsandmeditations.com to contact us with your own inspirational stories or just to say hi.